Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me again on this creative episode. Absolute pleasure to be here with you today. In today's episode, I wanted to touch on the conversation that most artists are uncomfortable to have, and or perhaps they stumble across when it comes down to answering the question, are you a successful artist? Now, this is one question that I've had to answer a lot over the last 2 decades, and it's something that I've become quite accustomed to expressing, defining, exploring with a variety of people when it comes down to me having to prove to somebody whether or not you're successful. So this is today's episode of discussion, and one that I hope you again get to have a lot of nuggets, takeaways, things to ponder for yourself, with people, and in your own studio. And when someone asks if you're a successful artist, the key, remember this, is to frame success on your own terms while maintaining confidence. It really is all up to you. Instead of defining success by societal metrics, fame, wealth, focus on your personal milestones and personal values as an artist. This approach shifts the conversation from one of judgment to a meaningful discussion. So what are the key components? Reframe success. Success can mean personal fulfillment, creating work that resonates with others, or achieving specific goals. Decide what it means to you, because this really is your journey and nobody else's. Also consider discussions around highlighting your achievements. Share a few tangible accomplishments, exhibitions, awards, projects, or community impact. For example, my personal experience. It took me 6 months to convince a men's group to start an art class, men who were in their latter years. They were very much against starting an art class for a variety of reasons. Once we did, 1 year later, they went on to become part of a yearly art festival. They had their own individual exhibitions. They become part of an art trail, opening up their studios and sharing their own personal artwork, their journey, their story. Now that focus and that persistence within me had a huge community impact. Contributions through teaching, inspiring, and bringing people together. This is the power your art can have on a level that's not so-called well-known or successful. So share that with people who ask you about your art success. Also stay positive and confident. Speak with pride about your journey, emphasizing your growth and your passion. Too many artists downplay their work, which really comes down to self-worthiness. For example, when I asked a fellow artist if she would enter the famous Archibald Portrait Prize, her direct response was, quote, "Why would a famous person be bothered sitting for me?" End quote. My heart broke when I heard her speak like that. Engage with the people you speak with. Use questions to connect with their perspective. For example, what does art success mean to you? How would you behave as an artist? This will get people to think about what the process is versus put their onus all on you. Here are some practical examples, straightforward responses. Are you a successful artist? You might say, for me, success is about creating art that connects with people and brings them joy. I've had the chance to exhibit my work and I've had the chance to teach, which I find incredibly fulfilling. Example 2, your person might say, would you say you are a successful artist? You might respond, it depends on how you define success. I feel successful because I get to share my passion with others through exhibitions, through classes, through social media. What does art success mean in your world? Speak confidently about what drives you, and remember that art success isn't one size fits all. Showing genuine pride in your journey often inspires admiration and curiosity from other people. Now, how to answer awkward questions comes down to you learning more about yourself and being confident in who you are. Do you actually make money from art? You know, you could have that discussion many ways, but try to be kind and say, I focus on creating work that resonates with me alone. It starts with me. And I've been fortunate to have opportunities like selling paintings, teaching art, and collaborating on creative projects, meeting people I never would have met before. So success for me goes beyond just money. It's about personal growth first. I don't oppose money or downplay its importance. However, if I cannot be present painting something, you won't be present engaging in looking at my art. Another question is, why don't you do something more practical? I think I've spoken about this before. You might be able to respond by saying, art is incredibly practical. Now, it fosters creativity, it inspires people, and it even drives industries like advertising and design. My work allows me to connect with others in a meaningful way, and that feels very practical to me, amongst many other deeper reasons. Now, are you famous? Does anybody know about you? Response could be, fame really isn't my goal. I focus on creating art that tells stories and impacts lives. To me, being recognized by the people I inspire or teach is more rewarding than being famous. A real wonderful, impactful moment I had on a total stranger was when I was in a public park, alone getting some sketch ideas, and a little boy walked past me with his dad and turned and said to his dad, quote, "Look, Dad, a real artist." I hope that inspired him to also consider a creative avenue in life. Another question is, why don't you just paint what sells? And you could respond back by saying, art is personal for me, and I believe the best pieces come from passion, not just trends. Surprisingly, when I paint from my heart, people often connect with it, and that leads to sales anyway. Here are 4 other ways to respond to the question, are you really a good artist if no one knows about you? Well, success is personal fulfillment. It really is. Again, I say, for me, success is about personal journey, personal fulfillment. It's being able to express myself through art, connect with people, and see how my work impacts their lives. I'm in service to others. Fame is fleeting, but the joy of creating art lasts forever. Is Banksy concerned with having his face in the public eye? I think we all know the answer to that one. Another response could be is that fame is a bonus. It's not a goal. It can be exciting, but it really isn't what I set out to achieve. I measure success by the relationships I've built, the opportunities I've embraced, and the stories that I've been able to tell through my work. Fame is really just a bonus when it happens. For example, many portraits that I painted were people that happened to be in that time at the right moment. Sadly, most of those people have passed away. Now, what a beautiful moment I was able to capture and create, and what a legacy I was able to leave for their families as a result of me painting them. So fame is not my end goal. Success is making a difference, and I've talked about the men's shed as an example. And to me, success is really all about being able to light up the spark within somebody else, whether it's inspiring them to pick up a brush, whether it's helping a viewer to see the world differently. Fame doesn't guarantee that impact, but meaningful work really, really does. Now, here are 3 ways to respond to the question, what defines a successful artist? My journey in art. One definition is creating work with resonance. You could start to talk to people about a successful artist is someone whose work resonates with others, sparking emotions and thoughts. For me, success is when my paintings connect with people. Again, whether it's through a gallery, a class, social media, or even a quiet moment of reflection as I'm out and about painting. Remember to create work that resonates with you first, and then others will surely connect with your work. Continuous growth and exploration is another reason to become a successful artist, because success as an artist is not just about work, it's about your inner growth, pushing creative boundaries and staying inspired. My journey has been about constantly learning and finding joy in the process of creation. Sharing art with others is another definition of success. To me, success means sharing my passion with everyone here and now, whether that is through exhibitions, workshops, community projects, and most of all, you now, the person watching this video. My journey has been about using art to build connections and making that lasting impact. And art has been about making and being okay with being vulnerable and authentic version of me. That's another big key moment. No other job allows you the ability to discuss your inner truth as much as art does. So finally, learning to respond to people requires understanding how they communicate and their communication styles they use, and then discerning the intentions behind people's words. Listening carefully helps you recognize whether their comments are genuinely curious or subtly disrespectful. Some of my biggest lessons in life, and this lesson sits at the top of my list, is learning about jealousy. You cannot thrive while maintaining friendships with people who are jealous of you, and sadly that includes family. My personal experience has been that family can tear your dreams down far more easily than a stranger ever will. Don't overshare the process of pursuing your dreams until you've reached your goal. Learn to recognize the difference between disrespect and genuine curiosity. Your inner light and courage to pursue your dream will often highlight in others their lack of courage. Accept this as a fact of life, because your decision then is whether to remain in an environment of disrespect or whether you move on. Here are some examples of what subtle tearing down can sound like. That's not a real job. You'll be starving. You're still doing that? What have you actually accomplished? How much money have you even made from it? Why don't you just get a normal job? That's a hobby. That's not a career. You're wasting your potential. Aren't you a little old for this? Don't you think it's time to grow up maybe? Everyone's doing that these days. It's not special. Why would anyone care about that? And many, many more. Now, understanding these subtle cues is the first step toward responding with strength and with grace. Recognize them for what they are, projections of insecurity. Stay focused on your journey. Thank you all for tuning into this video, and I hope I've been able to answer some of the questions that perhaps we might at times feel uncomfortable answering. And those questions are always centric more around, am I successful? Am I earning money? And what defines success? Remember, the response that you do provide, it really is all based on your own personal definition. Don't fall in the trap of needing or thinking that you have to give someone a response based on the box that they have decided to live in. This is your journey, this is your life, and this is your creation. And it really is all about what is comfortable for you. The moment you discover that this is your personal steps forward and it has nothing to do with everybody else, you start to let go of the baggage and carry that old baggage around in order to impress people. And if someone is really as rude to your face and behind your back about your journey, perhaps it might be a process to start to consider that they weren't really a genuine friend. Those that support you and those that are on their own journey of entrepreneurship, artist, a business person, any sort of mindset that is trying to build something will truly never tear you down. They will sit and listen to your journey, and they will offer critical opinions or directions that will help you versus put you in the box or make you feel terrible about where you are. So just be mindful of that. Yes, sometimes it's very difficult to accept that those that are closest to us are probably the most disrespectful individuals that are tearing us down, and it is a hard pill to swallow. But know that again, your inner light will always bring and reflect to those what's insufficient within them. And they have an opportunity to either raise to your level and be interested in support where you are, or they don't want to face their inner demons and would attempt to tear your journey down. You've got many choices in that situation, whether or not you want to then include them on your journey or basically pull back and not overshare as much. The one important lesson in my art journey, probably about 20 years ago, was when I heard a really good statement from one of my favorite mentors, which is Wayne Dyer. And he talked about how never ever reveal to any person that you don't completely trust or that has not got your back what your next move is. Because not only will they tear that down energetically, but also will start to subtly give you negative information where it leaves trails of doubt within your mind. And then you have to overcome that, and it takes a lot of work to overcome that, as well as work to focus on your journey, which is a whole ball of wrong. And it does take a lot of energy to dispel people's negativity and to also focus on where you are at. As always, remember guys, this is your journey, your project, and your creative life. If you are at a fork in the road, this is not a no or a can't be done. It's simply asking you to make a decision whether or not you turn right or left. So never be discouraged with a door being closed in your face. I've learned to realize that no means look in another direction. Don't take that as defeat. The moment you can call yourself a failure is when you don't get up from your last knockdown. But going forward and moving one step at a time is success in my books. As always, stay true to yourself and keep on pushing that paint, keep on creating. Remember, while you are in this world, you are the light of the world. Never give up on the journey and the dream that is within your heart. Until next time, bye guys.